evening, everybody. Welcome to the Freedom Fire Podcast, where we want to stoke the flames of freedom every single day. My name is Kendall Bowman, and ladies and gentlemen, Governor Abbott of the state of Texas is a true patriot. He truly is. Doing the Lord's work, keeping this country going, keeping this country safe, whereas the president has failed to do so. Now, of course, the left is screaming their heads off, stating that Biden needs to come in and take control of the Texas National Guard and just take away the Texas National Guard from Greg Abbott. Now, we're going to talk about how that's probably not going to work in the state of Texas. It's just not. It's not going to happen. But let's get into it with this story from SCNR.com. Governor Abbott, Texas right to self-defense supersedes any federal statutes to the contrary. Now, before we get into the article itself, just realize exactly what he just stated. He is basically stating that the state of Texas, because they are defending themselves from an invasion that the Biden administration has failed to do anything about, and not only have they failed to do something about it, they have actively been facilitating the invasion, committing federal crimes and state crimes in the process. Okay, so Governor Abbott has stated that Texas now holds authority over the border because the federal government has failed in their duties to solve this problem and to protect the country as a whole and the state of Texas. Let's get into it, man. I don't know what it is about the first month of the year, but it's like every single thing has just decided to lose its mind in the first month of the year. Let's get into it. Texas Governor Greg Abbott invoked America's founding fathers while vowing to continue to secure Texas border in a new statement. His message comes 2 days after the United States Supreme Court ruled the federal government could remove razor wire along the Rio Grande installed by the state to deter illegal immigration and drug trafficking as the Biden administration's appeal makes its way through the court. Texas responded by installing more razor wire on January 23rd. Mind you, the Supreme Court ruling did not tell Texas to do anything. It did not order Texas to do anything. And it did not say that the state of Texas government could not put up more razor wire. It said that it did not say that Texas National Guard could not attempt to stop illegal immigrants from crossing the border. There's nothing about the United States Supreme Court ruling that orders Texas to do anything. Texas is still permitted to put up razor wire, and they are permitted to try to deter illegal immigrants from crossing the border. The ruling only stated that the federal government has the ability to go in and remove border barriers that the state of Texas puts up. That's it. There is no order from the Supreme Court against the state of Texas ordering them to do anything. Nothing whatsoever. This was just about the Supreme Court being able to take down border barriers, in which the state of Texas has responded and said, come and cut it, buddy. Please, give us a reason. Let's continue. The federal government has broken the compact between the United States and the states. Wrote the Republican, the executive branch of the United States has a constitutional duty to enforce federal laws protecting states, including immigration laws on the books right now. President Biden has refused to enforce those laws and has even violated them. We know this. There are videos and interviews of Border Patrol agents actively stating that the Biden administration is allowing this to happen. Now, those Border Patrol agents, in my opinion, are just as evil and scummy as the Biden administration itself, because they're the ones actually doing the devil's handiwork. The devil's up here handing down the orders, but the demons are the one actually carrying the orders out. Yes, I am saying that these people are demons because they are doing the work of demons. You are smuggling children, bro. You are trafficking women and children. You're a demon. But I digress. Let's continue. Abbott says Biden has smashed records for illegal immigration. He has, and ignored Texas's demand that he perform his constitutional duties. As you can see, Texas is not in the wrong here. The Biden administration has actively gone against and broken federal and state laws by facilitating this invasion. Texas is saying, okay, if you're not going to follow the law, we will. Texas is in the right. The federal government is in the wrong. Period. End of story. There is no debate here. There's no debate. It's over. And if the federal government wants to continue to push this issue, well, we'll get to that in just a second. The governor continued, President Joe Biden has violated his oath to faithfully execute immigration laws enacted by Congress. Instead of prosecuting immigrants for the federal crime of illegal entry, President Biden has sent his lawyers into federal courts to sue Texas for taking action to secure the border. President Biden has instructed his agencies to ignore federal statutes that mandate the detention of illegal immigrants. This effect is to illegally allow their en masse parole into the United States. By wasting taxpayer dollars to tear open Texas's border security infrastructure, President Biden has enticed illegal immigrants from the 28 legal entry points along the state's southern border, bridges where nobody drowns, and into the dangerous waters of the Rio Grande. The Biden administration has claimed that the razor wire inhibits Border Patrol agents from carrying out their responsibilities and from preventing the development of deadly situations per CNN. This is not their responsibility. The responsibility of the Border Patrol is to stop illegal entries and to process people who are attempting to cross the border through legal entry points. This is their responsibility. They are failing, and they're doing it on purpose. We know this because we've seen the videos. It's blatant. It's right in front of your face. They no longer care. Okay? So if they're not going to care, and if they're not going to do their job that we put them in the office to do, well, then the state of Texas is going to have to do it for them. White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre told reporters during a briefing on January 23rd that the Biden administration was certainly glad that the Supreme Court had permitted the federal government to remove the razor wire, which she called ineffective. I would like to point all of you to this article from the Post Millennial. Illegal immigrants unable to cross into Eagle Pass after Texas reinstalls border wire. Ineffective, huh? Boy, that is some very ineffective Constantino wire there. Man, it's so ineffective that it's become effective. Who knew that ineffectiveness could become effective? This article says some migrants have been waiting for 3 days in hopes of entering the United States via the park in Eagle Pass. Ladies and gentlemen, if the Border Patrol was still allowed to operate in this area, these people would already be in the country. They would already be in the country wherever, nobody knows, doing whatever nobody knows, and we would have no idea who they are, what they're doing, why they want to be here. Nobody would know. But because Texas has stepped in and stopped the illegal border crossings, now we actually have a chance of detaining some people that get across, saying, "Why are you here? No, you cannot be here. Goodbye." We have a chance to stop these crossings. Now, of course, it's just so ineffective, though. It's just so ineffective. Oh, it's a waste of time. My question to you, though, is if it's ineffective, why remove it? If it's just ineffective and it doesn't matter, well, then why remove it? What's the point? I don't know. Let me know. Let me know down in the comments what your opinion on that is. Let's continue. Approximately 6 million illegal immigrants have entered the United States during Biden's 3 years in office. 6 million people. According to the Federation for American Immigration Reform, the U.S. Department of Homeland Security has removed just 2% of illegal aliens who did not show up to their immigration court hearings after establishing credible fear of persecution at the border as of August 31st, 2023. As of December 10th, 2023, 1,323,264 illegal aliens with final orders of removal still remained in the U.S., the organization added in its report. These are immigrants who have final orders of removal. They meaning that they are ready to be removed. Okay? The government is trying to actively remove these people. They're still here. They're still here. Since December 10th. It is January 24th as of the making of this video. If that is not dereliction of duty, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you guys, man. Let's continue. Abbott formally invoked the invasion clauses of the U.S. and Texas constitutions in November because of the increasing crisis at the southern border in November. The move permitted the state to take more drastic steps to secure the border, including deploying the National Guard, turning back immigrants trying to cross illegally, designating Mexican drug cartels as foreign terrorist organizations, which they are, entering into an agreement with other states to secure the border, and providing resources for border counties to increase their efforts to respond to the border invasion. Under the clause, the federal government is obligated to guarantee every state in this union a Republican form of government and shall protect each of them against invasion, per Fox 4 News. James Madison, Alexander Hamilton, and other visionaries who wrote the U.S. Constitution foresaw that states should not be left to the mercy of a lawless president who does nothing to stop external threats like cartels smuggling millions of immigrants across the border, declared Abbott on January 24th as of today. The governor said the Texas National Guard, the Texas Department of Public Safety, and other Texas personnel are acting as part of Texas's constitutional authority to defend and protect itself. That authority is the supreme law of the land and supersedes any federal statutes to the contrary, Abbott says. He's right. He's 100% right. The Constitution is the highest law of the land. No statute or order from the Supreme Court or from the federal government supersedes what is in the Constitution. The state of Texas has the right to protect itself when the executive branch refuses to. If the executive branch of the federal government is refusing to protect the state of Texas then has the right to defend itself from invasion. Ladies and gentlemen, there are women and children that are being sex trafficked at our southern border every day. There are millions of pounds of drugs that are trafficked into this country, killing around 60 to 70,000 Americans every year. Biden couldn't care less. He could not care less if you die. He could not care less if your children die from fentanyl poisoning. He couldn't care less. As a resident of the state of Texas, I can tell you, since Biden has got into office, there has been an increase in Amber Alerts in the state of Texas. Now, I don't have any proof that this is evidence of cartels, of cartel activity, kidnapping kids and selling them into sex slavery. I'll tell you this, though. The state of Texas has had a very big issue with exactly that for a very long time. Sex trafficking and everything is a major issue in the state of Texas and has been for a long time because we are so close to the border. So, whenever we are starting to see an increase in Amber Alerts where children are being kidnapped, the logical conclusion is that this is the reason why. It's the logical conclusion. And since we are seeing every day women and children being sex trafficked at our border every day, we see the videos, we see the interviews with Border Patrol agents, we know that this is happening. That's another logical conclusion to make, that this is the reason why we in Texas are seeing this increase in child kidnappings. Ladies and gentlemen, Biden couldn't care less. Couldn't care less. Now, I want to share this with you guys, and this is the escalation. This is what's dangerous. This is the escalation. From Chuck Calesto, breaking report, congressional Democrats are calling on Biden to seize control of the Texas National Guard. Developing, we may be witnessing history. What will he do? Ladies and gentlemen, I have already explained to you, there is no order from the Supreme Court to Texas. Their ruling from the other day stated that the federal government has the right to remove border barriers. Okay? But Texas still has the right to put them up. We can put them up. You want to tear them down? Fine. Be our guest. But we're going to put them up. We're going to keep putting them up. And since this area in Eagle Pass has been taken over by the state of Texas, Border Patrol agents are not welcome there. And since the Biden administration is committing crimes and failing in their duties, and actively on purpose failing in their duties to protect the state of Texas and to protect the country as a whole, Texas is saying, okay, fine. We're going to do what the Constitution says we're allowed to do, and we're going to defend ourselves because you have failed in your job. Your job was to protect this country. You're actively choosing not to do that. And so we're going to step in and we're going to defend ourselves. The Constitution supersedes everything else. It is the highest law in the land. The federal government doesn't just get to change that because they don't like it. Biden doesn't just get to change that because he doesn't like it. And there has been some back and forth. I'm not sure if this is entirely true or not. I know that it's speculated that if Biden wanted to take control of the Texas National Guard, then Greg Abbott would have to sign off on that. I don't know if that's true. I have not done the adequate research on that specific topic of this of this subject, but I do know this. When it comes to the Texas National Guard members in the state of Texas, these are men that come from the state of Texas. Okay? Their families and their friends live in this state. Okay? The reality is that people are more likely to side with protecting their friends and their family. Biden, if he tried to take over the Texas National Guard, would be asking these soldiers to do the opposite, to put their families and their friends in harm's way by facilitating this invasion. Ladies and gentlemen, if Biden tries to do this, he will fail. He will fail. And he will fail so fantastically and so dangerously, it could lead to a civil war situation. Because if Biden sends, agents, federal agents down here to tell these National Guard troops, hey, you work for me now, or you take orders from the president now, and these National Guard members say, no, I don't think I do. You're more than welcome to walk your happy butt right back out the door because I'm not taking your orders. Well, at some point, because neither side is backing down, at some point, there's going to have to be some force applied. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm not seeing an off-ramp. I'm not seeing an off. Where's it at? Where is the off ramp at? Where is the de-escalation? I'm not seeing it. I mean, tell me down in the comments if you think that there's a way out of this where we don't end up shooting at each other. Because I'm not seeing it, man. Excuse me, I apologize. I get a little excited and I hit the microphone every now and then. It happens. These are serious subjects, okay? But guys, I'm not seeing the off-ramp, man. I'm not seeing it. We are walking on thin ice as a nation right now. We are reaching a crossroads. Which way are we going to go, man? Which way are we going to go as a nation? Are we going to defend this fool, this senile fool of a president who is actively choosing to break federal and state law just so he can push his political agenda? Or will we stand, hold the line against that scumbag, and stand with the state of Texas that is actively following the law? They are doing the right thing. At the end of the day, Texas is following the law. The federal government is not. This is exactly what I said earlier. The debate is over. There is no debate. The federal government is wrong. Biden is wrong. The Democrats are wrong. And the state of Texas is right. There is no argument. The debate is over. The argument is over. There never was an argument. Biden never had an argument. The federal government never had an argument. They're literally just saying, we're the federal government, do as we say. And the state of Texas is saying, no, you're breaking the law. You don't just get to do that. Go the frick home back to Washington, D.C., and we will do your job for you if you choose not to. There's going to have to be some force applied at some point if neither side continues to not back down. I don't know where we go from here, man. At the end of the day, we're in scary times. Civil war is literally one mistake away. One bad event, one bad day away in Eagle Pass could land us in the middle of a civil war right here in the United States. We're one day away. One day away. That's scary, man. But here's the thing. And I get it. It's scary. As a father who's raising a family in Texas, I get it. It's scary. I feel that same fear. But the reality is this. If you cower before tyrants, they'll take everything from you. If you cower before the tyrant, they're going to take everything from you. What kind of nation do we want to raise our kids in? I don't necessarily want to raise my kid in a civil war laden society, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to let my kid live under a boot. I'm not. I won't let my kid live under the boot of the federal government. I'm not going to do it, man. I refuse to allow that. We got to stand with Texas. We got to stand with what is right, which is following the law, which Biden refuses to do. Stand with Texas. Stand with the National Guard. Hold the line. Speak up. Speak out. Don't be a coward. Put your voice out there and push out the message of what is right. And that's following the law, which is exactly what Texas is doing. There's many governors of other states that have already gotten on board and said, we support the state of Texas. South Dakota, Oklahoma, Florida, Virginia, Missouri as well. There's other states that are saying, look, it's blatantly obvious. What this dude is doing is wrong. What Biden is doing is wrong. He's actively breaking the law. There are Excuse me, my goodness, getting worked up here. There are American citizens who have been thrown in prison on federal charges for doing exactly what the Biden administration is doing right now. Facilitating human smuggling into the country is a federal crime that will get you up to 20 years in prison. There are American citizens that have been thrown in jail for doing exactly that. Oh, but when Biden does it, oh, well, he's got the authority to do it. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. Oh, well, he's the president, so, what? See, here's my issue. These Democrats will sit here and they will say about Donald Trump, oh, well, no one's above the law. Okay. Keep that same energy then. Keep that same energy as the president that you voted for, that you voted into office, actively breaks our federal and state laws and facilitates the human smuggling of women and children. You want to support that? That's fine. But just know you're in the minority. And that's not a fight or an argument or a debate that you're going to win. It's just not. Because the average American citizen hears the smuggling of children and they're like, okay, hold on just a second. Really? Yeah. It's on video. There's video, there's interviews with Border Patrol agents. It's blatantly obvious. It's right in front of your face that they are breaking the law, bringing these people into the country. And while these immigrants get free hotel rooms, nice free hotel rooms in New York City with all the fixings that go along with it, they get free health care. They get an average monthly salary, all coming out of your taxpayer dollars. Meanwhile, Gen Z is living in a 10 by 10 box for $2,000 a month and cannot afford to put groceries in their fridge and has to share a communal bathroom. Do you feel free, ladies and gentlemen? Do you feel free? Well, if Greg Abbott has anything to say about it, we will be. Stand with Greg Abbott. Stand with the state of Texas. Hold the line, baby. That's all we can do at this point. That's our only option. Hold the line. Or live under a boot. As for me and my house, we're going to hold the line. Make a choice, baby. Can't make it for you. It's got to be you. All right, I'm gonna leave it there. I'll have another video coming for you guys. Maybe tomorrow, maybe not. Not really sure yet. Depending on, I really just post videos depending on when the stories come out. If it's a big story, not it just depends. Okay, that's kind of my schedule at this point. So I'll have a video coming for you guys soon. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, leave a comment down in the comment section, and share the show with your friends. Follow me on all the socials down in the description and hit that notification bell so that you can be notified whenever we put out new videos. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.